I packed up my car, said bye to my family in Iowa, drove over 20 hours to start my new life in sunny Florida. And right when I moved to Florida in my brand new place in February of 2020, COVID hit and everything shut down. I thought to myself, did I just make the biggest mistake of my life? Hey guys, it's Sabah, the owner of a multi-six-figure online business, and I want to share my story of how I got the courage at the age of 23 to pack up all of my stuff, move clear across the country, barely knowing anybody, to start my new life. You might want to do the same thing. Maybe it's not moving to Florida, but moving outside of your hometown to start a new career, start a new life, find a new relationship, make new friends, or maybe you just need some adventure. This is how I got the courage to move from Iowa to Florida, and like literally not knowing anybody, packing up all my stuff, not knowing if I was gonna make friends, thrive in my career. I was only making maybe like $1,000 a month with my business. I'm like, okay, I'm moving to meet people, grow my business, do all of the things. So what happened was in 2020, I moved, and right when I moved, COVID hit, everything shut down. And I was so upset because I'm like, did I move at the wrong time? How am I gonna meet people? X, Y, and Z. And what happened was, it actually turned out and worked out in my favor, because the first person that I ever met when I moved was now my 3-year boyfriend. He was my realtor, and we just started to date right away. And of course, when COVID hit, we got so close and my business just started to skyrocket. And if you guys don't know what I do, I help online business owners, entrepreneurs, build their brand on social media so they can scale their business. So of course, when COVID hit and everything shut down, everybody had to be on social media and everybody came to me. So the first thing I want to talk about is moving to a different city, a different location, different state, country. The opportunity is endless. Like right now, if you're afraid, but like you're craving opportunity, you're craving something new, you're craving something different, there is so many opportunities at the new place that you want to move to. Coming from a small town in Iowa, there are not many opportunities there, especially in the career that I wanted to thrive in. Like Iowa is basically cornfields and farms. And if you don't even know where Iowa is, it's smack dab in the middle of America. So I always thought to myself, like, I want to be a big, well-known brand. I want to throw events. I want to meet my clients in person. I want to live by the beach, and I couldn't do any of that in Iowa. So right now, if you have big goals and dreams of doing something else in your career or living a different lifestyle, you might not be able to create that life based on where you're living right now. So take a look at all the opportunities the new city or location you want to move to can actually give you. Now, right before I moved from Iowa to Florida, I also went through a really bad breakup. I was heartbroken. A lot of my friends moved away because this was right after I graduated college, and I'm like, I just need a brand new environment. There might just be something in your life that's telling you, move. Like, get out of your home state. And I always tell people, if you want change in your life, big change, move out of your home state, because it will expand you, it will challenge you, it will help you communicate, be a better leader, meet new people, and just expand yourself beyond you ever thought was possible. So when I was living in Iowa and I was scrolling on Instagram, looking at people go to cute cafes and go to the beach and meet new people at restaurants and events, I'm like, I can't do that in Iowa. There's like nothing going on here. So that gave me more courage to, okay, what if maybe I could actually do this, and maybe I could actually meet new people if I actually made it a point to put a date in the calendar and actually work towards it so I could move to that new location. And that takes me to the next point, is make a plan. Make a plan. Don't just tell your friends and family like, oh, I want to move to this new place. And don't even just tell yourself that like, ooh, eventually I'm going to move there. Make it a point to write it down. Pick a date and start to work towards it. I remember talking to my friend and telling her, I want to move to Florida. I want to move to Florida. And she told me, well, put a date and make it happen. So you know what I did? I wrote down a date and I moved January of 2020. And I probably chose that date in August of 2019 that I was going to make it a point to move. So everything that I had to do financially, everything that had to do back at home, everything that had to do with my job, I started to make all of those bits and pieces work. So when I moved, I didn't have to worry about anything else. And for you, that might be 1 month from now, 3 months from now, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, regardless of the time, make it a point to write it down and work towards that goal. Aside from setting that goal, make sure you also visit the location, honestly, maybe more than once before you move there. Now, I was not sure where I wanted to move. I've lived in Iowa my entire life, and I knew that I didn't want to live there anymore after I graduated. So I didn't know if I wanted to move to like Chicago or Los Angeles or Florida. There were different locations that I was thinking about moving. So before I actually did make the move to Florida, I visited those locations, and sometimes I even would stay there for a few weeks to really just immerse myself in the culture, in the areas, and see would I actually love to live here. Now, initially when I moved to Florida, I only had a 6-month lease because I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna test out for 6 months and see what happens. 3 years later, I'm still here. So clearly I absolutely loved it. Now, you may not have to have like a 6-month short-term lease, but I would visit the places, see how you like it before you commit to a 1-year lease. Now, the last thing I want to touch on, which is probably the most important piece of advice that I can give you and I can share with you based on my own experience, is you will figure it out. You will figure it out. You will figure out where to live. You will figure out how to make friends. You will figure out how to make more money. You will figure out and adapt no matter where you live and no matter where you move to. I've got to admit, I was pretty crazy, and I don't recommend doing this, but I moved from Iowa to Florida without actually locking in like a house or apartment. I didn't even know like what area I wanted to live in Florida. So what happened was I did start to look right away, and luckily I did find my realtor, who is now my boyfriend, who found me the perfect place. But what I would recommend is like find a location first, so that way when you move directly to that home. But also, I did not really know how to make friends. I didn't know how I was going to thrive in my career. There were a lot of unknowns, like I have to be honest, but I had the mentality of I am doing this for a reason. My heart is pulling me to this place for a reason. So when you have faith in that, you will figure it out, and you will always figure it out. I did have like 1 or 2 people that I did know in Florida, which was like a little bit easier for me to do. But for you, if you don't know absolutely anybody, there are Facebook group communities where you can actually connect with people in different cities. And I would recommend connecting with a few people. So when you do move there, you at least have like a little bit of support system. Because in the really beginning, when COVID happened, everything shut down, I was calling my family a lot and I was calling my friends a lot, which did help. But at the same time, you maybe want at least 1 or 2 people there. So that way really settling into the new place feels really good for you. And that is how I got the courage to move from Iowa to Florida in my 20s. And I really hope this gave you that like inspiration, motivation, or activation to do the exact same thing. Comment below and let me know where you are planning to move to next. That's all I have for today. If you guys love this video, as always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Every single Sunday, I come out with new videos helping you create the most unforgettable life by being your own boss. So until then, make sure that you stay unforgettable.